Welcome to another Convention Master tutorial video. This video covers at-event registration, or more specifically, the cashiering process for the Convention Master system. Here you can see we've logged into our Convention Master system. And on the left, you'll see expanding and collapsing menus. The one that you want to pay most attention to is this cash register tool here. When you first click it, you might see a message like this. This is simply telling you that you need to have a cash box assigned. When you first start your shift every day, you should be receiving a cash box float. That float will then be assigned to you. And this error message simply says that the manager on duty hasn't yet assigned the cash box to you. We're going to go ahead and take a moment and have our manager on duty assign us a cash box and see how this message changes. Our manager on duty has now assigned us a cash box. To get rid of this message, we simply click F5. Now we get a different message. This time it says, are you using the cash box names cash box 1? When you look at the outside of the cash box that you were given, it should have a number or a name or a label, and it'll be displaying it here. This might look a little different if you've been assigned more than one cash box. Here we're going to say yes, we are going to be using this cash box. The next message that you'll see sometimes is relating to whether or not you have a printer pool assigned. Typically we'll see this message appear more frequently towards the beginning of the convention than we will towards the end of the convention. That's because the Convention Master system will remember which printer pool has been assigned to a workstation. Let's go ahead and assign a printer pool to this workstation now. You'll see that it's going to ask for a workstation name. Just give a name that's descriptive to this particular workstation. Then I can go ahead and pull down, and you should either ask for assistance from your supervisor or pick the correct printer pool for the machine that you want to use. Then simply click Save, and we can click here to return to our tasks. The next step is to go ahead and click on this Cash Box Tools. Here we're going to verify the amount of money that the cash box says it has. It's important that we catch these discrepancies as soon as possible. So we're simply going to add a note to the cash box that says that we've verified that there's $75 in there once we've counted the money. We can go ahead and click Add Note now. At any time during your work shift, you can come back to this Cash Box Tools and add any notes you want in this field. This will allow you to let the people who are counting your cash box know whether or not that you've made a mistake, or perhaps you've just simply verified the amount of money that says it's in the cash box at that particular time. When you make a note, it records the time and the date that you've made the note, and then what you've written. If I accidentally give a customer the wrong amount of change, I can quickly come over here and simply say, I accidentally gave the customer too much change or too little change. The same thing can be true if I accidentally record a credit card payment as cash or a check payment as a credit card. All we do is type out the notes and click Add Note. Next we'll go ahead and go back to our cash register. Here we can wait for our first customer to come up to us. Depending on how your convention operates, there may be a couple of things that a customer brings to you. This first one would be printed on a piece of paper. This is known as the AUP, or Acceptable Use Policy, and it basically writes out all of the rules of the convention and includes some pertinent information at the top. At the bottom of this document, there's a barcode. In other cases, the customer may bring you a mobile device or a tablet with this screen on it, but again, we're looking at the same barcode to do the same job. If you don't have a barcode scanner, all you do is type in this number, and you don't need to type in any of the preceding zeros. For example, all I need to do here is type in the number 2. For this one, we would type in 2853. These significant digits. And where do we need to type the number in? We type it in here under the Add Customer field. So here we can type in 2853. Once we've typed 2853, we can pull up the record of the person that we're registering, Rebecca Wilson. Here we'll take a look at the birthday, and we'll verify that her birthday was October 10th, 1979. Then we simply click Add. Once we've added the customer, we can see that they owe $70. We can finish with this particular customer, or if the customer is a family of 2 or 3, we simply add the next customer. Here, we're going to go ahead and add Symbolian. Now we have 2 customers in our cart. Here we can see that we owe $130. The next step is to go ahead and click Finalize Sale. Once we've clicked Finalize Sale, we can start collecting money. We can put as little or as much money in a particular method that we want. So if the customer would like to pay $15 cash and $10 check, we can handle that by simply typing $15 cash and adding the payment, and this total goes down. Then we can say that they gave us a $25 check, and we can add that payment. Finally, maybe they give us $100 in cash because they have a $100 bill. They only have $90 amount remaining, so as soon as we click Add Payment here, it will calculate our change and print our badges. Sometimes, when we want to print a badge, we'll get printing errors just like this. There's nothing to panic about. All we need to do is resolve the printing problems, and at any time we can click Reprint Badge. Once we click this button, a pop-up will appear and the badge might print. If the badge doesn't print, it might give you more information as to why it's not printing. We've reprinted the first badge, and now we can reprint the second badge. There we go. Now both badges have been printed, and we can go ahead and click this button which says the sale is complete. Click here to return to our cash register. Now we're back at our cash register and we're ready for our next customers. Let's run through that again just to reinforce some good training. We're going to go ahead and process 2860, and that's apparently Rudy. We're going to verify that his birthday on his ID, and we're going to click Add. Then we simply click Finalize Sale. He gives us $100 in cash, so we type $100. The badge prints. This time we didn't have any printing errors, and we go ahead and click here to finish. Next, we're going to go ahead and process UID 12. Here we click Add, and in this case, you'll notice that he owes a total of $0. People who have pre-registered and paid for their items will owe $0, and we simply click Finalize Sale. We still need to record a $0 payment at the time that we decide to cash this customer out. So we'll go ahead and do that now. Once again, his badge prints and no change is due. So we can go back to the start. This time let's do something a little more challenging. We're going to click 18, Emmy Baker. We're going to go ahead and click Add. We're going to click Finalize Sale again. Now that we're at this screen, we're going to go ahead and we're going to record a credit card payment. When we record a credit card payment, we simply change the payment type to credit, and we type in the amount, which is going to be $65, and we use our external terminal or device to process the credit card transaction. On most credit card terminals, they'll give you back a transaction ID that is unique for that particular transaction. In this case, we'll say it's TXRF57. And we simply click Add Payment, just like we would any other. And once again, the badge prints, and we can click to return. I've gone ahead and added another customer and brought us back to the payment recording screen. I'd like to take a moment to talk about comp money. Many conventions will give each cashier a customer service comp amount. This money is to be used responsibly and to help deal with issues in line. Maybe this customer is grumpy because she had a bad day or a bad experience at the convention so far. If we've been assigned comp money, we can go ahead and say comped by. Then we can type in an amount that we want to discount Stan's membership. So I'm going to go ahead and say that I want to give him $30 discount for the trouble that he's experienced. Here, we need to type a reason. Every time we use some comp money, there needs to be a legitimate reason, and we need to type that reason so that the people accounting the convention later on can see why we gave it to them. This has been approved. Then we simply click Add Payment. However, in this case, we will actually see that our comp amount is too high. In fact, I only have $0 left to comp with, so that means I wasn't even assigned any comp money to begin with. That's okay though. We can go ahead and use somebody else's credentials to process this comp. You can click Comped by somebody else, and they can reach in over your shoulder and type in their username and password. Trap has reached over my shoulder and typed in his username and password. We click Add Payment, and that $30 was applied. It's important to note that when we say comped by somebody else, that payment actually gets recorded as if it was processed by that somebody else. So in this case, under Stan's account, it'll show that Trappa processed $30 of comp money. That comp money gets deducted from Trappa's account, not from our account. So, for this reason, many conventions only give the comp money to the manager on duty at any given time. Now that we've processed that $30 comp, let's go ahead and finish this transaction, and we'll say that he gave us a $50 bill. Once again, his badge prints, and we can return to our duties. Let's take a look at a few common errors that we might see when we're adding somebody to the cashier cart. If we add number 2 again, you'll see that it gives this message: be sure to get old badge. What this means is that the system is aware that we've already printed a badge for this customer. If he's saying that this is the first time he's been through, we may want to pay special attention. If he upgraded his membership, then we want to make sure that we collect his old attending badge and before we give him a new sponsor badge, as this might be a method by which customers get a second badge and share it with their friends. Sometimes when we search, we'll see this message: customer is not registered at the event. This might mean that we typoed the number or that the customer isn't registered. We can investigate this further by using the search field in the top right. Here, we can type in the same barcode, or we can type in the person's name. When we're at this screen, we can go ahead and click on the registration tab and look here to see what his account history says, or here to see what events he's registered at. If he's not registered at all, maybe there's been some kind of mix-up. Some conventions don't use the barcode system, or sometimes it's just easier to search by name. We can use the search in the top left corner and find customers. Once we've pulled the customer up, click in the top right corner. In the top right corner, there's this double arrow. And what that double arrow means is that we're going to add them to the cashier cart. Let's go ahead and talk about the next exception that you might see. Here, I've gone ahead and added number 1. You can see that this time we have something new, something called bag number and pre-stuffed bag. Pre-stuffed bags are bags containing merchandise that is due to the customer. Sometimes they'll have a label that looks exactly like this, and we need to make sure that when this says pre-stuffed bag, we make sure that we give them that bag. If we have a runner, we'll call to the runner and say, please get me bag number 1. And we need to pull this down and choose bag given to customer. And we'll click add. And just like usual, we'll finish up and say finalize sale. Once the sale has been finalized and the badge prints, we make sure to give him both his assembled badge and the bag that they're due. This has been a lot of information given to you in a very short period of time. So once again, I'm going to show you the process from beginning to end so that you can see how simple it is and to reinforce your skills. We start by looking for a customer, either in this box with a barcode or up here by searching for their name. Once they've been pulled up, we come to this screen. We need to make sure of their birthday. We need to make sure that we record whether or not they've been given a bag. We can add additional people. And when we have all the people we need, we click Finalize Sale. We record the amount that they've paid us and click Add Payment. If needed, their badge will print, at which point we assemble the badge and we make sure to give the customer the stuffed bag, and we move on to the next customer. Alright, so we've taken care of all of the people in registration, and now we're ready to go off shift. The next step is to go ahead and close out our cash box. So we're going to click on the cash box tools link, and at that point we're going to be able to see all of the amounts of money that we're supposed to have in our cash box. We're going to click on this print status button, which will go ahead and print us a page on a full page printer of the cash box number and all of this information. We'll take all of the money that we have in our cash box, we can count it and verify that it's correct, and if it's not correct, we can use our cash box notes down here to make any notes about that and seal that up in an envelope. Then we're ready to close the cash box out. We click on Cashier Closeout, and here it pops up a window that you'll see, and this reminds you of these instructions, basically to print the status, put all the money and the receipts and the cash in the envelope, write cash box 1 on the outside, or whatever the cash box name is will be inserted here, and then you simply click Close Out, and that's it. You're ready to go. You can now give this cash box back to your supervisor or drop it in a drop safe depending on how your event does things, and you're ready to log out of the Convention Master system and go on with your con. Well, that covers everything that you need to know to do your job at the convention, and I hope that you have a great time volunteering for whatever event it is you're volunteering for.